Hi, I'm Trooper Smacka.
Hi, I'm Trooper Wellman,
Please stay tuned for a behind-the-scenes look at being a state trooper.
and together we can make a difference.
Here we are live at the 360 Vegas studios with Trooper Wellman here for another edition of Trooper Talk. So Trooper Wellman, so great that you're here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
So there's a lot of things to talk about. You know, one of the things that I want to discuss is the heat. And so I noticed that my car drives different on the road when it's hot than when it's cold.
Yeah.
And so not only that people drive faster in the whole thing, but just the physical car drives different. And so if you don't drive the car every day, you know, you're not really paying attention.
Yeah.
And so this enables people to, you know, not have full control of the car, especially if they're going at high rates of speed. They're not used to the different types of conditions of the car.
Yeah, you got to think our pavements, the asphalt ones, the temperatures are just scorching. There's been times that I've been on a scene before and just walking around the pavement with my boots, they've melted. And so, you know, your tires are rubber on your car and on the pavements. You bring up great points to take into consideration. Constantly check your air pressure on your vehicle. Make sure you always have water in your vehicle because it's so hot. Make sure you have a phone or a charger in your vehicle in case something happens and you need to call, you know, Star NHP 311, 911. There's all these options out there to keep you safe because these temperatures are rising. And another thing is, I don't know if you've seen lately, but our fire departments as well as our local police agencies have been doing a lot of, if you want to say commercials or videos showing like, please always check your vehicle before exiting. Make sure you don't leave any children, animals, you know, your loved ones in the vehicle because it'll have fatal consequences. And you know, everybody's in a hurry, but just take that extra second to look around your vehicle and make sure. They even suggested putting something like a big stuffed animal in your front seat or your cell phone in the front seat, things that you always will pay attention to or you need, because that'll be a reminder for you to be like, let me check my back seat, or like, let me make sure I don't leave my animal or my loved one in the car, just because it's a real thing and it happens. Same thing with pool safety. We're seeing on the news, unfortunately, these children are getting into the pools with, you know, the summer temperatures and stuff. And as parents, parental guardians, adults, we have to be aware of where our little ones are and keep them safe. Get those gates if you can around your pools. Get those little alarms on your doors. Make sure your doors are locked so the children can't get out. Same thing with the animals. You know, I've had actually a dog who got into the pool one time and unfortunately drowned. And I was a child when that happened. It was very traumatic. But, you know, our pets are a part of our family too. And so same thing, just be aware of where our children and our animals are with our pools and with the summer now here.
We got some good pictures for today.
Okay.
See. These speeds will have fatal consequences. I mean, 111, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, I don't know, like a Chevy. I mean, you know, again, I don't know what the tires are, you know, because like I'm not proficient in that, but, you know, there's a difference between a car that has tires that are rated to go 85 or 90 miles an hour and, you know, a high performance tire that's rated to do these speeds.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not super like a professional when it comes to that. We call it EVOC. I know you've met a couple troopers that are our instructors, and we can dive into that more deeper when I bring them on the show. But I do know that, you know, like what you're implying is that the tires, they are going to stick to the pavement differently, and your traction's going to be different. And keeping control of your vehicle is all going to be changed now because of the heat and the temperature. It's the same thing if it's cold. You know, we have black ice. You're not going to it's not going to have the traction that it would if it wasn't super, super cold. All that is stuff to take into consideration, and it's a great point because it's things that I don't even think about that often. And so it's all really good points, and that's why you have to make sure you are going the speed limit and not making quick and abrupt lane changes or, you know, just for your safety and everyone else's. 111 is ridiculous. I mean, our temperature wasn't even 111 that day, and it's like, I don't understand why people would think that they need to travel at a speed that fast, because, you know, we always joke about it, but you see someone fly past you and then somehow you're going the speed limit and you always end up getting to that same red light as them. Like it didn't
Yeah.
even make a difference. You got
Yeah.
to the same destination at the same time.
Yeah.
So it is just not worth it in the big picture.
And you know what's funny is that now, when I see these people that fly past and they go like really fast, not that I wish any ill will, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I'm scared because like I see the consequences, because I know after we talk and like what it is, and it's like, listen, you know, it's not fun. You know what I mean? That trooper is going to hook you up, and he is going to ruin your day.
Yeah.
And so, what did you really accomplish?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and so you're going to be sitting there in the back of a car, handcuffed in the sun, like, and so I think that if we look at the consequences and people really look at that,
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? And you know what I mean? It's just,
And that's a good outcome.
and that's a good outcome.
It's a good outcome,
right?
because the bad outcome is you killed yourself or you killed someone else.
Right.
And that's the reality of it. You know, not everyone's so lucky to have a good outcome. And I don't even want to say lucky, because this is all preventable by personal responsibility. And if they just made the choice in the first place to just slow down, everything could have been prevented. So, but I mean, we're out there, you know, we're trying to slow these cars down to keep everyone safe, and we're doing the best we can. And we just appreciate the public's help. We really do, when they call it in and tell us these reckless vehicles, because we can't be everywhere at all times. So it's almost like you guys are our partners as well, because you're the other eyes for us. So we
Yeah.
really do appreciate the public's help.
Yeah, Star NHP, right? Exempt if they call.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. 121 miles an hour.
Yep.
I mean, you know, not to reiterate the point, but, you know,
I believe this car got towed. You know, with our manpower, sometimes we don't have the ability, if calls are pending and they're serious calls, we may have to issue a citation. But if we have the ability, speeds of this high, 111, anything over 100, usually the car's getting towed. So there's a couple different factors that will play into it, like with the discretion of the officer, and one being like pending calls or manpower and things like that. But if I remember correctly, this one, the vehicle was towed, because you are a danger to the public and yourself. And if you're going to travel at speeds that fast, you shouldn't be driving, because you don't have any regard for anyone's public safety. So,
take your dog to work. NevadaStatePolice.com.
yeah, so it was Take Your Dog to Work Day. And so in recognition of that, we wanted to post and highlight some of our K9 partners. You got Lobo right over there with Trooper Penley.
Yes.
He is our bomb dog, our explosive dog that actually
Yes.
just won first place
Yes.
in the K9 trials this year.
We liked him. We met him.
Yes.
Trooper Penley, right?
Yeah.
We had the Lobo was out in the car, and I found it interesting that he doesn't go around people.
Lobo?
Lobo. And so remember that he barely goes around his family,
Oh, yes, yes.
and he's outside, and he, you know, I mean, in a you know, nice area, you know what I mean? Not like he's thrown outside, but like he has his own area, and like he's there to work.
That's all of our K9 dogs. That is how they're trained, so that they're efficient in their job every
Yeah.
single day. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they love it. Like this right here is Goldie. Goldie's one of we've had Goldie for a while now, and she's a great narcotics dog. She's with Trooper Hour. We were doing a TikTok on that video, and so that's why she was up in the front seat with him, and it was really cute because she kept shaking his hand. But I took that one, and then this is actually our Northern Command as well. I don't know that dog's name off the top of my head, but I believe that's Sergeant Brown and his K9 dog. But again, you know, we are an entire state, and that's the
Yes.
beauty of it. So
And when we had the Trooper McFadden on, which is,
Yep.
he's not here, right? But you know, to talk about the recruitment.
yeah,
And so that was one of the benefits, was that, you know, you can do all these different things.
Yeah,
And so that's
absolutely.
really wonderful. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I found that segment that we did with him very, very interesting, because I think that people think that, you know, the dogs, even though they're there with their family and all that type of stuff, but, you know, they're there to do a job.
Right. When they go home and they're there to eat and sleep, basically. and then when they go to work, that's the highlight of their life. And don't get me wrong, our handlers smother our dogs with love, right? Like that is their best friend. That's their dad.
Right.
And so it's a good balance, but that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic.
Yep.
Secure all items. Here's another good one. Okay, ladders,
Yes.
right? You know, I like wood. You know, I always not that they're any more guilty than anybody else. You know, who's moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the stress of moving. But you know, people that do work all day, that they put the ladders and the stuff in the back of their trucks. I'm always scared of that.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You have to make sure your load is secure, not only because it's the law, but it's to prevent any tragedies from happening. I can't tell you how many times mattresses fly off vehicles on the freeway. And then, I mean, it's just the ripple effect. You have cars that are swerving to avoid it, cars that are striking it that, now crash and causes damage. You have the individual that possibly pulled over to try to go retrieve the mattress, and now you have a pedestrian on the highway and cars braking and swerving, and it's all bad. It's all bad, and if the load would have been secured, and I'm not saying that things don't just happen, right? Maybe the rope came loose or something, but please, please, please double check your loads to prevent any of that from happening.
I'm so thankful, but I would be pissed.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like, and I never want to see it happen to me or to anybody else. But I know that I've seen pieces of plywood like on the road. You know what I mean? And like that piece of plywood fell off somebody's truck and landed.
Yep.
And so if that car was behind that you know what like.
And the way we are trained for patrol, as well as the way we kind of educate the motoring public, is if there's debris in the roadway, don't swerve to avoid it, because if you strike another vehicle, unfortunately you're at fault now, and it sucks. But if we don't have, I mean, if we have the vehicle that dropped the load, then now we can take that in consideration. But ultimately, if you swerve to avoid that piece of wood and you hit a car, you made an unsafe lane change technically, or failed to maintain your travel lane. Yes, we understand to avoid striking that debris, but you're better off just hitting it and staying in your lane. As I know it sounds crazy.
Oh my gosh, I never even thought of that.
Yeah, it sucks. So unless you can like safely change your lane or go into the shoulder to avoid, be careful, because again, the ripple effect. It's
No,
like
I never
dominoes,
even thought of that,
right?
right? But then you go into the shoulder, and then there's a car in there, and right.
I mean, it's just all bad.
So the best thing
all bad.
Stop doing the debris stuff.
Secure your loads.
Secure your loads. Help our thank you to Sergeant Austin.
Yeah, so this is one of our sergeants up north.
Yes.
And he retired. I think he did, I'm not sure how many years, over 20 though. And he got to retire, and I know he's a big asset up north in our Reno office and loved by many. So we wanted to congratulate him. My counterpart, I'm actually going to be releasing it soon, but we got a new PIO, Public Information Officer, up north. Her name is Amanda Powell. She's a trooper up there, and she's great. And I'm excited to see what she brings to the table for our agency. And that's one of the beautiful things about our department is we are statewide. We're not just Las Vegas. We're not just, our southern Nevada. We are statewide. And so this was Amanda who posted this. And, we are a big family, and we want to make sure that everyone in our department feels included, from Reno to Carson to Battle Mountain to Tonopah to Las Vegas, because we are everywhere in the entire state. So
what a great send-off, What
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and again, we love that because that means that he served his career.
he did it.
You know what I mean? Like, he did it, and so I know that from friends who have retired, that this is the best time. Because they can do and go fishing and do all those fun things that they want to do.
It's a huge accomplishment.
Huge
I mean,
accomplishment,
to get to that day.
Yep. Well, congratulations. Plan ahead. Don't drive impaired.
Yeah.
You're
So
not
this
a
was our.
firework. You're not a firework. Don't drive lit. I saw that one
This
too.
was our 4th of July. I
Yes.
posted this one because our
Yes.
freeway signs posted it, and I mean, it kind of makes you giggle, but ultimately it's the truth. Like, don't drive, and lit is like a slang term kind of for, being high or impaired. So it's personal responsibility. Just don't do it.
And, when you see when you're driving down the road and you see one of the troopers that are off to the side of the road, you know, it's not a matter of driving past them and then all of a sudden slamming on the brakes.
Right.
You know, and that's what everybody does.
Right.
It's a matter of just continuing if you're traveling at a safe speed, which is around the speed limit.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have to do
there's
it in
no
the first
there's no
place.
reason to make yourself crazy and to make everybody else crazy, right?
Right.
And I'm sure you being there, you're like, yep, I see that guy coming down the road, right?
We already saw him a long time ago.
Right. We already saw him a long time ago. So let's talk about one final thing before we go, which is don't drive impaired.
Absolutely.
No speeding, any of that type of stuff, and tell everybody if they want the recruitment, where should they go and all that type of stuff.
NevadaStatePolice.com. If you go on our website, not only does it have different, it spells out the criteria that you need if you want to apply, but you can talk to a live recruiter right then and there. We have testings coming up constantly that we could get you in. If you've ever had that passion to want to protect and serve your community, the community that you are a part of, and you want to make that difference, please, NevadaStatePolice.com. You get a take-home car. I mean, there's a lot of different perks. You get benefits, and you get to wake up every morning and feel proud of what you do for your community. So I highly encourage you, if you have that drive, NevadaStatePolice.com.
Yeah, the take-home car is the greatest.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Trooper Wellman, thank you very much. So we appreciate it. We'll wave at everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.